Howdy everyone, this is Sky Ken, and if you enjoy content like this, then be sure to like and subscribe for more future videos like this one. Now, in today's topic, I'm going to be talking about discipline, which is something that I've personally had to learn quite a lot while navigating throughout my life, especially as a 26-year-old man right now. And most people think they lack discipline, which isn't actually true. Most people lack a reason to suffer, and that's why discipline keeps collapsing. Now, when I say discipline is a spiritual skill, like the title of this video, I don't mean religion, I mean this discipline. It's the ability to act in alignment with your values even when it costs your own comfort. It's not motivation or willpower, or it's not even hustle culture. It's internal authority, choosing who you want to become instead of obeying impulses like fear of society. And the reality is that a lot of people are just scared of discipline. They think if they become disciplined, they'll lose everything that's fun to them, which is, you can think of things like gaming, good food, having fun with your friends, or freedom. And I understand that fear because I've lived it myself too. And where I come from that is, I used to weigh around 220 pounds. I became extremely disciplined with what I was eating afterwards during my weight loss journey. So that meant things like no junk food, no cheating on my diet, and hardly to none of flexibility when it came to eating. And yes, the end result is that I did drop a lot of weight going down in 60 pounds, but I also stopped going out to eat with friends, which kind of disconnected me from enjoying the things I did, which once again were I stopped enjoying food socially. My discipline wasn't coming from a meaning, it was coming out of fear, and that fear was gaining the weight back or losing control. And discipline without meaning turns into punishment. So the real question isn't, how do I become disciplined? It's more like, why should I change at all? And we can kind of think of it like this. It's because your brain is asking something very reasonable. Why should I suffer for this? We can kind of think of it like this. Let's look at a linear path of what a student does, or goals, you can even say. They study to get good grades, and then if you get good grades, that means you get a good degree, and if you get a good degree, then you get a good job, make money. Then that all results from working harder, which means getting promoted, and then gaining your freedom. The eventual goal of it all is supposed to give you confidence or security, love, and peace, essentially. But if you're comfortable, your brain's going to say, why suffer now if I'm okay today? And that's not laziness talking to you, that's just logic at the end of the day. You essentially have to be honest with yourself when it comes to these types of discipline or motivational efforts that you try to do. And when I'm honest with myself, I didn't just lose the weight because I wanted discipline. I wanted confidence, or I wanted to feel healthy, make connections, feel proud of myself, and I wanted that desire. Discipline only became possible once I wanted those things more than comfort. For that realization, that happened during COVID for me, and I saw two futures for myself. Either I was going to rot in lockdown, gain weight, and give up on myself, or I would fight for something meaningful. And the cost of discipline became lower than the cost of letting myself go. That's when discipline stopped feeling forced. But here's where people actually get stuck. We're told what to want by social media, celebrities, parents, and peers, which really just create borrowed desires. And what I mean by that is, you would say to yourself, well, I should be successful, or I should be disciplined, or I should look like this. And for me, that was actually during early in my gym career, I wanted to look like a Chad or like Chris Hemsworth. That desire wasn't mine. It was imitation. And I kept saying should and not want. The issue is that your brain can't run on should. And that's how burnout happens to you. It's really that external pressure that works only when consequences are immediate, such as deadlines or your boss or grades, that sort of nature. Once that pressure disappears on you, so does the discipline. And fear and comparison don't build discipline. They borrow it for a short period of time. And discipline always requires suffering, but suffering only works when it's chosen. And for me, once again, if weight loss is tied to health or respect, it lasts more, and it did last for me. And if learning is tied to meaning, then it lasts so much more longer. That kind of discipline survives boredom, loneliness, and slow progress. That's the spiritual part of it. And in all essence and truth, discipline fails if it's built on borrowed desires. It only succeeds when it's rooted in something you genuinely care about, even if it's small. Most people don't lack discipline, they lack a reason to suffer. So instead of asking, how do I become disciplined? Ask yourself this: what is actually worth suffering for in my life, even if no one ever sees it? I know for sure a lot of people could say that's the rat race, or gaining their freedom, or becoming a certain aspect that transforms your identity or your mindset, that gives you better clairvoyance into the direction that you want to go to. And that's where real discipline begins. It's once again what's meaningful to you, and what's a meaningful thing that you want to make onto your life that will progress it into something much more grand, fulfilling in the end goal. And certainly for me, one of those final things that I'm doing right now is providing content for people that want to learn the mistakes that I've done in the past, so that way they're not repeated again. I want this to grow out of something, and I want this to be a learning lesson, not only for us to grow, but also this channel to grow. But anywho, I think I've rambled on enough with that. So as always, if you like the content of this video, then once again, please be sure to tap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to put on the notifications and comment your thoughts too on what you thought of this video and anything else that you want to see in the future. This is Sky High Ken signing out, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Y'all take care. I love you all. Bye-bye.